Okay, we are going to get started on our hat. So I've made my slip knot. So to start with this hat, it's made top down, so working at the top of the head and working our way down. So we were going to chain 2, and in your second chain from your hook you're going to work 8 extended single crochet. So to work an extended single crochet, you put your hook in, you pull up a loop, yarn over. It's like you make a chain 1 right there. You have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over again, pull through 2 loops. So we're going to do that again. Insert my hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the 1 loop or chain 1, and pull through. So now we have 2 stitches, and we're going to keep going around until we have 8. So there's 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we're going to join in our first stitch right here. And now we have 8 extended single crochet all the way around. So for round 2, going to chain 1. We're going to work an extended single crochet right in that same stitch. And then around this stitch we're going to work a post stitch. So extended single crochet post stitch. So we have just a regular one and then a post stitch, and we're going to keep doing that all the way around. So our next stitch right here, work an extended single crochet and also work a post stitch. So it's alternating extended single crochet, post stitch, extended single crochet, post stitch. So now we're back to extended single crochet and post stitch. And I'm going to keep doing that all the way around. Okay, now we're ready to work round 3. So we're going to chain 1. We're going to work an extended single crochet right in that same stitch. Now we're to our post stitch, and we are going to work 2 post stitches around this stitch. So here's post stitch number 1 and post stitch number 2. And the post stitch again is just an extended single crochet, but you're working around the stitch, and then that creates the post stitch. So we are now working an extended single crochet in the next stitch, and then 2 extended single crochet post stitches around the post stitch. And it gives it a raised effect. So we're at our next one. We're just going to keep doing that all the way around. And we are getting close to the end of our round here. And now we're at our last 2 stitches. So working my regular extended single crochet, and then here's my post stitch. And you can, manipulate it with your fingers. It's not going to hurt anything. It's very sturdy. And work my extended single crochet post stitch right around 2 of those guys on there. And then we are going to join in our first stitch right there, just like that. Okay, so at the end of round 3 you should have 24 stitches. So now we're ready for round 4. So we're going to chain 1, and you are going to work 2 regular extended single crochets right in that same stitch. And then we have 2 post stitches, and they might be a little bit hard to find, but they're there. And if you can't see this, the top of the stitch, so there's 1, there's 2. So just wiggle your hook in there, work 1 extended single crochet post stitch, and then there's another one, work the second one, just like that. And now we are at our regular extended single crochet where we're working 2 stitches. So 1, 2, and we're going to work just one post stitch around this guy. So our extended single crochet post stitch, and then another one, and 2 extended single crochet stitches in this stitch, and continue to do that all the way around. Okay, I'm almost done my round 4. So I'm at my last 3 stitches. So this stitch, I'm working 2 extended single crochet, and then I need to work 1 extended single crochet post stitch around these last 2 guys. So there's 1, and then 1 more right there. And we're going to join in our first stitch, and at the end of round 4 you should have 32 stitches. So now we are going to do round 5. So we're going to chain 1, work 1 extended single crochet in this stitch, work 1 in the other stitch, and then around these 2 post stitches right here we're going to work 2 post stitches around each of these. So there's our first post stitch, so work 1, and then we're going to work another one right around that same stitch. So now we've worked 2, and we're going to do the same thing. Oops, my yarn is splitting on me. Stop doing that. So there's 1, and then there's the second post stitch, and we're going to work 1 extended single crochet in each of these guys right on top of each other. So there's 1, there's 2, and we're at our post stitches now, so we'll work 2 post stitches around each of these. So it might seem a little bit bunchy and tight, but it'll smooth itself out, or it'll stretch itself out a little bit. And work our other one, and we're just going to keep on going. Okay, I'm almost done round 5, so I'm at my last 2 post stitches, and I need to work 2 post stitches around these 2 guys. And at the end of round 5 you should have a total of 48 stitches. So there's, oops, need to get a little bit more yarn. So working my 2 around that last post stitch, and then we will join with a slip stitch, just like that. Alright, so now we're ready for round 6. I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to work 2 extended single crochet in the same stitch. Looks like I got a fuzzy there. Let's get that guy off. There we go. No fuzzies allowed. Not. And then 2 in the next extended single crochet. So there's 1, 2. Okay, now we're at these 4 post stitches. We're just going to work 1 post. Oops, we're not working double crochet. What am I doing? Working 1 extended single crochet post stitch around each of them. So here's the first one. There's the second one. So you might not have to move it around a little bit to find them, but they're there, and if you can turn it this way you can see at the tops of the stitches. There's number 3. And again, as I said before, it's a pretty sturdy stitch. Sturdy stitch. That's hard to say 5 times fast, right? And there's number 4. Now we're back to our regular extended single crochet, so we're working 2 in this first one, and 2 in the second one, and we'll just work the 1 in each of the 4. So there's 1, our second extended single crochet post stitch. And I love extended single crochet. If you've seen some other videos and patterns, I use this stitch a lot. I think it's really versatile. I think it's a nice stitch. I think it's pretty. I especially like doing it in the round. Working our 2 in there. I have read that some people hate it, which I'm like, oh, but you know, we all like different things. I really, probably my least favorite stitch is the single crochet stitch. I just don't enjoy it that much. So we're back to our post stitches, so 1 in each of the 4. I mean, it's a useful stitch. I've certainly, you know, made projects with it. I don't know, I don't enjoy doing it. It's not my favorite. For this guy, I've actually switched projects around that call for single crochet, and I've switched them to extended single crochet because I just like it better. So we're back to working our 2, and we're just going to continue this sequence all the way around, and I'll meet you when I'm done. Okay, I'm almost done round 6, so my last 4 stitches of post stitches. So there's 1, 2, there's 3, and 4, and I'm going to join in my first stitch right there. And at the end of round 6, you should have a total of 64 stitches. Okay, now we're ready for round 7. So now we're going to work even. So we're just going to work 1 stitch in each of these stitches. So 1, and we'll work our extended single crochet right in that same stitch. Work another one, so number 2, number 3, and number 4. And now we are at our 4 post stitches, so we just work 1 post stitch around each of these post stitches. So there's 1, 2, and it's still extended single crochet, 3, and 4. And we're going to continue doing that, so just continue to work even. So it'll be your 4 extended single crochet, 4 post, 4 extended single crochet, 4 post extended single crochet. So I'll meet you back at the end of round 7. Okay, I'm almost done round 7. So I've got my 2 post stitches, and I need to finish up with 2 more of my extended single crochet post stitch. So there's 1, and the last one right here. And then we will have completed round 7, and again you should have 64 stitches. And then round 8 is just a repeat of round 7, so you're going to continue to work even. Okay, I'm finishing up round 8, so I'm on my last stitch here. It's a post stitch, my extended single crochet post stitch. Okay, now we're ready to start round 9. So I just finished round 8. I'm going to join in my first stitch, and now we're going to start round 9. So we're going to chain 1. We're going to work an extended single crochet right in that same stitch, and we're going to continue to work in the next 3 extended single crochet and work your extended single crochet stitches. So there's 4 of them all together. Now we're going to work some post stitches, and we're going to increase in the last stitch here. So we'll work 1 post stitch in these 3, and then in this last one we're going to work 2. And then we'll have 5 post stitches. So here's our first extended single crochet post stitch, our second, our third, come on, there we go. And then the last one, you're going to work 2. So there's 1, and then just go right back in there for the second one. So now we've worked 2, and we're going to work 4 extended single crochet in the next 4 stitches. So here's stitch number 2, stitch number 3, 4, and we're to our next 4 post stitches. So we're going to work 3 post stitches, and then the stitch number 4, we are working 2 stitches around that post stitch. And there's stitch 4, so here's the first extended single crochet post stitch and the second. So we're just going to continue around for round 9. So you work your 4 stitches here, you work your 3 post stitches, and then in your 4th post stitch you work 2. So we will continue to do that. Okay, I just finished up round 9. Now I'm going to join, and we'll be ready for round 10. So round 10, we're just going to work even. So we'll chain 1, work our extended single crochet right in that same stitch, and in the next 3 stitches work our extended single crochet, and we'll be back to our post stitches. Now we have 5 post stitches, so we'll work 1 extended single crochet post stitch around each of these 5. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Those last 2 are a little bit crunched together, but they'll spread out as we progress on our hat pattern. And 5. So just continue to work even. Okay, I just finished up round 10, and for rounds 11 and 12 you're going to do the same thing as you did for round 10. Just continue to work even. Okay, I finished rounds 11 and 12 working even. So now we're ready for round 13. So we're going to chain 1. We're going to work our extended single crochet right in that same stitch and work 3 more, just like we've been doing. And when we get to our post stitches, we're going to start to do something a little bit fun, I think, just to mix it up a little bit. So our first post stitch, we're just working our regular extended single crochet post stitch, just like that. Now we're going to start doing like a cable, like a braided cable. So what you need to do is you're going to yarn over, and we're going to work front post double crochet. So we are going to skip this post stitch here and work a front post double crochet around that one. Oops. Yeah, we're going to do that. So we've worked our front post double crochet. Now we're going to go and work in this post stitch that we skipped. And what we need to do is we need to work behind it. So that might be a little bit tricky, so do your yarn over first, and you're just going to see how the hook is behind and just loop it around. And it might feel a little bit awkward, but you'll get the hang of it, and just continue to work your double crochet stitch. We're going to yarn over, front post double crochet around our next post stitch. So it looks like that. So you can see we've crossed. And then our last post stitch, just work the regular extended single crochet post stitch. So we will do that again. So you're going to work even and extended single crochet. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we're back to our post stitches. So you will work extended single crochet post stitch around the first one. Now we're going to yarn over because we're going to do some double crochet. So we're going to skip this guy right here, work front post double crochet right around that guy. Now we're going to need to work in the one we skipped. So we're yarning over, we're working behind, grabbing that with our hook. You can push that guy away, yarn over, and then continue to work your front post double crochet stitch. And then we need to work a front post double crochet around our next post stitch. And then our last post stitch, just work the regular extended single crochet post stitch. So when you come to the group of post stitches here, always remember, and the next rounds too, the end ones will always just be a regular extended single crochet post stitch. The ones in the middle, the 3 in the middle, will be working front post double crochet. So I will continue around for round 13, and I will get back to you when we're ready to begin round 14. Okay, I finished up round 13. So round 14, we're going to start, and this is where I think the magic's going to start to happen, where you actually start to see the braid pattern. Right now, it doesn't look that exciting. It looks kind of weird, actually, I think. This is when it starts to come together. So we've just chained 1, worked extended single crochet in the same stitch, and then 3 more. And our next stitch, as we said before, we're just working a regular extended single crochet around that end one there. So now we're going to yarn over. We are going to work a front post double crochet around this stitch. Just like that. And then we are going to skip this one. So this might get confusing because this covers it up. So you just turn it up on its side and you can see there's 2 and 3 that we still need to work. So we're going to yarn over. We're going to skip this one right here. We're going to work here. Work a front post double crochet. And then we're going to yarn over. We're going to work in front of our work. So before we worked behind, now we're working in front. And we're just going to work around this one that we skipped, a front post double crochet. And as you can see, it's the beginnings of the braid. So now we just need to work on the end guy here of our extended single crochet post stitch. So we will do that again. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So extended single crochet post stitch around the end one. So now we're yarning over. We're going to work right in this first post stitch right here. Work our front post double crochet, skip this one, work around the next one, front post double crochet. Oops, I don't think I yarned over. Silly me. So there's our front post double crochet. Now we're yarning over again, and I'm pulling this guy forward so I can get a hold of him there and work front post double crochet around that. And then we're back to working our regular extended single crochet post stitch. So we'll just continue working that same sequence all the way around for this round. Okay, I just finished round 14. Now we're ready to work round 15. So you can see here's the starting of our braid here. So we're chaining 1, we're working our extended single crochet just like normal in those 4 guys right here. Now we've come to our first set of post stitches. So again, as I said before, just a regular extended single crochet post stitch. Now we're going to go back to the previous sequence. So this one might get a little bit tricky because these stitches are crossed here. So we're going to yarn over, and I'm just using my fingers to get a hold of because we're skipping this one. And again, if you're having trouble seeing it flat, more flat, turn it up on its side. You'll see these 3 stitches or where we're going to work our front post double crochet. So I've yarned over, so I need to skip this one. I need to work around this one. So I'm pulling that forward, just working my front post double crochet around that stitch. Now I need to work in this one that we skipped. I'm yarning over, and remember we're working behind and grabbing that guy, yarning over. So it can be a little bit fiddly, but it looks really cool. the end result I think is worth it. So we're yarning over, we just need to work our front post double crochet right around the last one, and as you can see, you know, it really starts to take shape of what it's supposed to look like. The beginning rounds look a little like, does this look right? It looks a little weird. But as you get going in the pattern, then you're like, oh, okay, now it makes more sense. So now we're working just our regular extended single crochet. And it's very interesting, side note, this yarn that I'm using, it looks very yellow in the camera, but in real life it's actually more of a light orange, like an orange yellow. Alright, so anyway, back to our sequence. So we are going to work our regular extended single crochet post stitch, yarning over, skipping this one. We're going to work around this one, our front post double crochet, working behind, pulling that up, working front post double crochet, yarn over, front post double crochet around the last one, and then our very last post stitch is just a regular extended single crochet. So you'll just keep going around and then join at the end of your round. Okay, so we just finished round 15. Now we need to do round 16, and what you're going to do the next rounds up until you get to round 24, so you're going to work 23 rounds. You're going to alternate back and forth between round 15, what we just did, and round 16. So you will end on an odd row, so you will end on around 15, what we just did with working behind. So now we're doing round 16, and I'll show you that real quick as a refresher. So we'll chain one, work your extended single crochet in the same stitch, and continue with your extended single crochet stitches. So this is the other part of the braid. So now we're at our post stitches, work extended single crochet. So we're going to yarn over because we're going to work a front post double crochet right around that first stitch. And we're going to work a front post double crochet. We're going to skip a stitch, getting ahead of myself. So we're skipping this stitch in the middle. We're going to work a front post double crochet in the next stitch, and then you're going to go back and work in the front, so you don't have to go behind, so it's a little bit easier, and work your front post double crochet stitch there. And you'll work your extended single crochet post stitch, whoops, right in that next stitch. So this is an even round sequence. When you work behind is an odd round sequence. So evens you'll work in the front, odds you work behind. So you're going to end on an odd row. You're going to end working behind on round 23. So I will meet you back at the end of round 23. Okay, we are almost done round 23. And I said to work up to round 23, so I'm finishing up my braid here. As you can see, the braid, it looks really neat, I think. I hope you like it. And our last extended single crochet stitch, and we are going to join. Alright, we are ready to begin round 24, and for round 24 we're going to do some increasing and we're going to do some decreasing, sort of. So you will see what I mean by that. And so to start off with, I've chained one already. So in my first stitch right here, we're going to work 2 extended single crochet stitches. And then our next 2 stitches, we're just going to work 1 stitch in each of those. And then our next stitch, our last extended single crochet, we are working 2 stitches. So we have increased a total of 6. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we're back to our post stitches. So we're going to work a regular front post extended single crochet stitch, we're going to skip this next double crochet, this front post double crochet. So if you're having trouble, just turn your work towards you. You can see those 3 front post double crochet stitches, the tops of them. So we're skipping this first one and we're going to work a front post double crochet around this next one. So yarn over, just wiggle your hook in there, work your front post double crochet stitch. We're skipping the next one and we're working a regular front post extended single crochet stitch. So our next set of regular extended single crochet, we're working 2 extended single crochet stitches. The next 2, we're just working 1 in each. So there's 1, there's the second one, and now our last extended single crochet stitch, we're working 2 stitches. So now we've increased up to 6, and we'll go do a decrease. So this is kind of, I said sort of, because you're not actually joining, or not joining, working any together stitches or decrease stitches, but we are skipping 2 stitches, which is in fact creating a decrease. Because there's actually 5 stitches here and we are skipping 2, so now there'll be a total of 3. So you skip your next front post double crochet, yarn over, front post double crochet around the next double crochet, skip this next one, and then front post extended single crochet. Whoops, got caught. There we go. And just continue around. Okay, I'm finishing up my round 24, working my last front post extended single crochet. I'm joining in my first stitch there with my slip stitch, and now we're ready for round 25. We're going to chain 1 and we're just working even, so that means you just work 1 stitch in each of the stitches. So now we have 6 extended single crochet, so I'm just working 6 across. Now I'm back to my post stitches, so we're going to work just front post extended single crochet in all 3 of these stitches. So there's 1, 2, and there's our 3rd front post extended single crochet, and we're back to our regular extended single crochet stitches, so you work 6 across. So just continue for round 25. Okay, I'm finishing up round 25. So what we're going to do for round 26, to join this round, we're going to join in the back loops only. So this is my front loop right here. So front loop right here, my back loop. So we're joining just like that. So now we're getting ready to work the band of the hat. So we're going to chain 1. We're going to work in the back loops a regular single crochet. So not extended, just a regular single crochet. So we're working 6 in the back loops. So stitch 4, 5, oops, and 6. So you can see we just worked in the back loops there. Now we're at our post stitches. We're going to work just regular front post extended single crochet like we've been doing. Alright, so now we are at our next set of 6 stitches. We're working in the back loops only, our single crochet stitches. So this will be a total of 15 stitches. Now we are at our next set of front post extended single crochet. So what we're going to do now is the next 30 stitches you're going to work front post extended single crochet in around the next 30 stitches. So with these 6 here, you're working front post extended single crochet. So just work your 30 front post extended single crochet. Okay, I've just finished my 30 extended single crochet post stitches or front post extended single crochet. So an easy way to determine that is, so right here is the starting point. So we worked our single crochet and the back loops only, so you can see that right here, there's the loop that wasn't worked. And then we started our sequence of 30. So an easy way to know that you've done it correctly is, so here's one set of the 3 that we did here. So 1, there's a second set, 2, 3, 4. So in between these 4, you will work your, so from here to here, your front post extended single crochets. So now we're going back to working in back loops only of single crochet, just regular single crochet. So working our 6, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then you work your regular front post extended single crochet, and you'll just continue that for the rest of the hat. So you'll be working regular single crochets in that sequence of 6 in the back loops only, and then your front post extended single crochet to finish off this round. Okay, I'm finishing up round 26, so finishing up my last front post extended single crochets. There's my last stitch for round 26, and now we're going to join in both loops in the first single crochet. So the previous round we joined in the back loops, but now we're going to be working in both loops again. So now we're ready to start round 27. So you're going to chain 1, single crochet in the same stitch, single crochet in the next 6 stitches, or I mean on 6 stitches, for a sequence of 6. So you'll have a total of 6 single crochet, and we are going to keep working around. We're going to work even, and then when you get to your sequence of 30 front post extended single crochet, you're going to work your 30 front post extended single crochets. So we are almost there. So just working my regular single crochet in both loops for my next sequence of 6. And now we are up to our 30 front post extended single crochet, so we are going to work 30 front post extended single crochet. And then once you're done working those, you're going to go back to your regular single crochet stitches right here and work your 6, and then your 3 of front post extended single crochet to finish up round 27. Okay, I'm finishing up round 27. It's my last stitch here, my front post extended single crochet. I'm joining again in both loops. So for rounds 28 and 29, we're going to repeat round 27. So you're going to work your 6 regular single crochets, and then when you come to the group of 30 extended or front post extended single crochet, work your 30 and then go back to working your 6 and then your regular front post extended single crochets. And then once you're done round 29, you're going to join and you're going to need to cut your yarn. So I will see you back at the end of round 29. Okay, I'm finishing up round 29. It's my last stitch right here. And joining in the first one. And now we are going to cut that yarn. And that part of the hat is finished. And now we are going to turn back to, this is the bill of the hat because it's a brimmed hat, or has a bill on it. So we are going to finish up here. Okay, so we are on the finishing steps of this hat. So what you're going to do is you're going to come to your sequence of 30 right here. So we started that right here. I'm going to attach yarn. So I'm going to attach my yarn just like that. I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to work front post extended single crochet right around that stitch, and I'm going to continue to work 30 or 29. This is stitch 1, so it'll be a total of 30 front post extended single crochet across the bill of our hat. Or brim, bill, I guess it could be the same thing. You know, it has the little thing in the front. I'm probably getting all the terms wrong. So I'm going to continue working my front post extended single crochet. Okay, now we're ready for row 2 of our brim or our bill of our hat. So we're going to chain 1 and turn, as I just did. And we're going to work back post extended single crochet. So it's a little bit tricky. We're going to work around this first one right here. So you're going to push the yarn back with your hook and tuck it around. So it's a little bit of hook gymnastics, as I call it, but it's not too bad. We only have to do 1 row of these, and you're going to work 29 more back post extended single crochet. So now we're going to work around our second one, just like that, and you'll just keep working all the way across for row 2. Alright, so we finished row 2, so now we need to chain 1, turn our work. Now we're going to work front post extended single crochet around. So I've chained 1. Now I'm going to work right around that first stitch, just like that. Now we need to work, we're going to work these 2 stitches together. So what we need to do is just insert our hook around both of these guys, just like that, and work a regular extended single crochet. And we are going to do that again. So you insert your hook around those 2. And this is just some shaping that we're doing with the hat. And we're going to do it one more time. So right around those 2 stitches. Pretty simple. Much easier than back post. So now we're just going to continue to work extended single crochet until we get to our last 7 stitches. All right, I'm at my last 7 stitches. Now we just need to repeat what we did on the other side so it looks the same. So we're going to insert our hook right around those 2 stitches, work extended single crochet front post, do the same thing around the next 2, and we're just creating some shaping here. And around the next 2. Okay, come on. There we go. And then our last front post extended single crochet, and then in this stitch, after you complete your stitch, you can cut your yarn. Okay, so now we've completed our hat, and we just need to work on the border just to give it that little extra special touch there. So at the back of your hat, so this is the back of my hat, just attach your yarn wherever you want. It doesn't matter where, just attach. I'm going to attach mine right here, and then you'll want to chain 1, and we are going to work a single crochet right in that same stitch, and then you'll chain 1. So you're going to work single crochet, chain 1 all the way around your hat. Just like so. It just gives it, again, as I said before, just give it that little finishing touch. Nice little border. Okay, so we're continuing with our border. Now we are at the bill or the brim of the hat. So as you can see, it kind of has like a point here. You want to round that out a little bit just so it looks a little bit nicer. So we're going to work up this side, and you'll work on the ends of the row here, and just insert your hook wherever you think it looks nice. There's no real science to it. You just kind of eyeball it. I mean, that's how I usually do it. And then whatever I think looks nicest. And sometimes, you know, I might take my hook out and redo it if I'm not liking how it's looking. Especially if it gets like a hole or something there and you don't really want that. Alright, so let's see if this will round this out. So we just look a little bit nicer. Alrighty, so let's see here. So as you can see, it kind of just rounds that out just a little bit so we don't have that sharp corner there. So I'm going to keep working around my hat. Alright, so I'm finishing up my border here. So it's like my last 2 stitches. Take my chain 1 and then we'll just join right in that first stitch. And now we can finish off this hat. So you can see how we just rounded that edge just a little bit there. So we just look a little bit nicer. So what you'll want to do is weave in all of your ends, and I'm going to block this hat a little bit just so, you know, it looks a little bit nicer to get some of the kinks out. And if you want to attach some buttons or a pom-pom, whatever you want to really, you know, make the hat yours. So thank you so much for watching.